So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word of my mouth, and warn them from me.
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Middle Tennessee and examining current events from a biblical perspective, this is Bible News Radio with your hosts, Randall and Stacy Harp.
There it is.
There it is. All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday to you guys. This is the week of Independence Day for America.
United States of America.
That's right. For the United States of America, which I don't know. Do you know any other Americas?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Like South America?
Yeah, South America, North America, Central America. Yeah.
All right.
Wanted to be clear.
So I want to say hi to people. I see.
Do it.
I see Scott, Melanie, and Diane. Thank you, Diane, by the way. Thank you. Very cool. Faithful One, and a couple of people who have weird names that I can't read. All right. Oops. Okay, and there's Marty. Okay, hold on a second. So did you guys have a good weekend? I don't know about you, but I played pickleball. Yeah, I did. I did. There's a big shock, right? Okay, I also played pickleball today, by the way, and I played so good, you wouldn't even believe it. Okay, 5Joy8, hello. All right, guys, thanks for inviting people. Appreciate it. This is the part of the show where I have to log in everywhere and do this. And Melanie, thank you for the super hearts. Oops. And Matt Buff. Hey, Mr. Buff. Nice to see you, buddy. Haven't seen you in a long time. Matt has a great podcast, in case you didn't know. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Bill Hybels, the Vatican, the President's Bible, how a World War II vet got his identity stolen. He's 112 people, 112, and so much more. So I hope that you have time to stay with us and watch the show. And Natasha's here. Hello, Lady Natasha. Okay, I'm turning down the volume as I cleverly speak and look directly into the camera.
Well done.
Yeah, this takes skill. It really does. Hi, Victoria. It's your first day on Periscope. Hey, welcome to Bible News Radio. Good choice for your first day here. All right, did I turn down the volume all the way? I did. Okay, and it's down. Okay, so now if I do or say anything stupid, it will. You won't hear it. Well, you will, because I'll be here behind the microphone. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin by reading from the Bible. Okay, because I actually, let's see here. Yeah, it is Happy Canada Day weekend. By the way, Happy Canada to all my friends up north.
Canada.
I was actually born up north. I was almost born in Canada, actually. I actually was. I was so close. I really was. All right. So today's Bible reading comes from Proverbs chapter 2, which I didn't tell Randall till just now.
That's okay. Blessed are the flexible.
For they shall bend and not be broken.
And not snap.
Okay. Not snap.
Yeah, close enough.
Gotcha.
Well, I used to say not be broken, but being broken is good. But you don't want to snap. That's like going postal or whatever. So you want to be flexible. You want to bend, but you don't want to snap. Anyway, as you were.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. How many of you noticed I got my hair cut? Does it look good or what? It does. I didn't do a darn thing to it, just so you know. In case you're wondering, some of you are probably going, is there something different about her? I'm not sure what it is. Well, that's what it is, just so you know. Okay. Hey, Mia, thanks for coming in. All right, some of my pillars are here. It's nice to see all you guys. Have I told you lately how much I love my pillars of the community? You know why? Because you guys love me and Bareface. You love me more, I know. It's a burden I have to carry. You know, all the love. And, well, anyway. Okay, so Proverbs chapter 2. Let's look at it. The reason I want to read this is because I was reading it this morning, and there was a couple things that stood out to me. And I know a lot of times people have a problem, you know, sometimes studying God's word and being in his word every day. And this is kind of an old trick of the Christian world is just read a chapter of Proverbs a day. If you don't know where to begin, go with the day it is. There you go. Poof. Pretty soon you'll be so wise you won't even know. Randall is an encyclopedia. He is actually, although he doesn't do as good on swag IQ as you might think. Hey, Purple Paisley Planner. Annette is here. Thank you for coming in, girl. Appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this is the New American Standard because that's the version I like personally. This is what it says. My son, if you will receive my words and treasure my commandments within you, make your ear attentive to wisdom, incline your heart to understanding. For if you cry for discernment, lift your voice for understanding. If you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will discern the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk in integrity, guarding the paths of justice, and he preserves the way of his godly ones. Then you will discern righteousness and justice and equity in every good course. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will guard you, understanding will watch over you, to deliver you from the way of evil, from the man who speaks perverse things, from those who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who delight in doing evil and rejoice in the perversity of evil. Can you guys believe that? There's people that literally rejoice in that, right? Whose paths are crooked and who are devious in their ways, to deliver you from the strange woman, from the adulteress who flatters with her words, that leaves the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house sinks down to death, and her tracks lead to the dead. None who go to her return again, nor do they reach the paths of life. So you will walk in the way of good men and keep to the paths of the righteous. For the upright will live in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the treacherous will be uprooted from it. So there's a couple of things here that stood out to me personally. I'm very, I don't know about you, but when I read the Bible, just things, they just they jump out at me like, blah! Sometimes I'm like, blah! Okay, you want to highlight to me? It's like, poof. Okay. So anyway, here's the couple of things that stood out to me. First of all, it says, my son, if you will receive my words and treasure my commandments within you, make your ear attentive to wisdom and incline your heart to understanding. For if you cry for discernment, lift your voice for understanding. And if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will discern the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God. You know, all these times people talk a lot about, we get a lot of angry atheists in here, or people who are like, well, the Bible's just a book of fairy tales, blah, blah. I look at that and I go, really? Because it says here that if you do all these things, just so you know. So look at the action words here, okay? First of all, receiving my word. You have to receive the word, right? The Bible talks about receive the word that was deeply implanted within you. But not only receiving, but treasuring his commandments within you. To treasure it. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, and I've shared this before, so maybe some of you have already heard this, but I wasn't raised in a Christian home. And so when I first came to faith in Jesus, I did not have a Bible because my mom would not let me have one. I know this is weird, right? Bizarre. A lot of parents bring their kids to church and they give them a Bible when they're a baby, just saying. my mom wouldn't let me have a Bible. So when I actually got it, my friend Gail gave it to me in the school library at the public school, actually. She smuggled it in. And I treasured the book. I mean, I loved it. I was like, I just could not get enough of it. It just, man, it revolutionized my life. It revolutionized my life. So I treasured it. I memorized like 1 or 2 verses a day for like years. I'm sad to say that I don't do it now. I need to get back into it. But so that stood out to me, to receive and then to treasure. And then the third thing is to make your ear attentive to wisdom. So what's that mean? You gotta pay attention. You know, all these self-help, super successful business gurus always telling you to tune into a podcast on business in order to make yourself attentive to the business principles and the positive thought of the day. Well, you know what? The positive thought of the day needs to be to wisdom, because it says there, make your ear attentive to wisdom. Okay? And then incline your heart to understanding. So we're looking at attentiveness, and then we're looking at inclining your heart. So what's that mean? Like, hey, let's lean my heart deeply into that thing. And then, and then crying for discernment. Say, what is discernment? Biblically speaking, discernment is simply this: knowing the difference between good and evil. Okay? And we live in a world right now that, you know, they're saying one thing is good when really it's evil. And if it doesn't, you know, line up with the Word of God, then you already know. And then lift your voice for understanding. So if that's what you're going to do, you're going to lift your voice for understanding. And then it says, if you do all that stuff, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then, and only then, will you discern the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God. So there's all this stuff there, right there in the first couple of verses. I mean, this is the first 5 verses of Proverbs 2. But there's so much action that needs to be taken place there. And I don't know about you, but I'm completely guilty of not doing it all. Just so you know, I'm not perfect by any stretch. That's why these jumped out to me. It's like the Lord's going, hey, Stace, by the way. The other thing I want to show you at the bottom of the chapter, because we're going to be talking, unfortunately, about sexual abuse in the church, is that, you know, the bottom of this chapter, you know, it talks about delivering you from the strange woman, from the adulteress who flatters with her words. That's verse 16. You know, the book of Proverbs frequently talks about that, right? It frequently talks about and warns people from being seduced by the adulteress and stuff like that. Well, you know, it's interesting because I want to point something out. It's interesting that the Bible talks a lot about that. But you know what's interesting today to me today is that it's very rarely discussed when you have predators like Bill Hybels. Okay, I'm going to say he's a predator. Don't get mad at me, but it's a fact, actually. Predators like him and priests and other people, you know, who actually prey on women that they should not be preying on, and also children that they should not be preying on. And those people, God is not mocked, and he will take care of them. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. What do you think, Bareface? I know it's not your real name, but just thought I'd ask.
You thought you'd ask me what I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. You know, all those things. You know, the idea of, you know, if you come with the attitude that, oh, this is a book of fairy tales and no, I'm going to prove it wrong, whatever, that's exactly what you're going to find. You know, reminds me of the old story about, well, basically, well, there's several stories that illustrate that fact that what you go looking for, you find it. That, you know, if you've got Limburger cheese in your mustache, then you'll think the whole world stinks, kind of thing. Right. And so, but if you come with an honest heart, looking to find silver, looking to find treasure, you won't be disappointed. You'll find it. If you're looking for wisdom, it's there to be had. God gives all, to all liberally wisdom, those who ask for it. And James makes the point of not being double-minded when you ask. That is, having a plan B for, well, if God doesn't come through, then, I'll do something else. Then, well, that's like asking somebody for advice and say, your advice sucks. I'm going to do what I want anyway. I mean, why did you bother to ask? God is no different. I mean, he's not mocked. So if you come sincerely looking to receive wisdom, you'll find it. But, on the flip side are those that we've mentioned many times, the Simon Greenleafs, the Lee Strobels, etc., of the world who were looking to disprove the gospel and ended up believing it, believing the scriptures, the testimony of the evangelists.
Right.
So, anyway, but in both cases, there was a sincere pursuit, whether it's to find the truth. And reminds me of Hebrews 11:6. It says, without faith, it's impossible to please God. For those who come to him must first believe that he is. You can't come to a God that you don't believe he is. And that he rewards those who diligently seek him. And he does. And so that's what I think. Off my soapbox. Back to you.
Thank you guys, by the way, for praying for Randall. I know that some of you asked me how he was, and he's still, We literally pretty much spent most of the weekend sleeping. Not me, but Randall. He slept a lot. Me, well, never mind what I did. All right, so let's look at this lead story about Bill Hybels. Okay, this was like the first story that I saw this morning when I opened up the Christian Post. Actually, when I opened up Facebook had this lead story about him, and I was like, oh my gosh. But, it's interesting, and I really don't, unfortunately, like to talk about this stuff. But you know what? Honestly, it's real, and it's what happens, and this is the latest. So the Christian Post says in the headline, Bill Hybels, quote, entered into sin, unquote. Willow Creek elders now admit apologizing for not believing women. So this is a good thing, you guys, that the elders finally are, they're admitting it, but I don't actually see Bill Hybels apologizing. That's kind of the problem. But let's look at the article. It says here, elders of Willow Creek Community Church in Illinois have now admitted that founder and former senior pastor Bill Hybels entered into sin, adding that they should have believed the women who made sexual misconduct accusations against him earlier this year. We apologize and ask for forgiveness that the tone of our initial response was not one of humility and deep concern for all the women involved. It actually takes a little bit of humility to admit this, by the way. It takes courage for a woman to step forward and share her story, the elders of the evangelical megachurch wrote in a statement published on Saturday. We are grieved that we let Bill's statement stand for as long as we did, that the women were lying and colluding. We now believe Bill entered into areas of sin related to the allegations that have been brought forth. Hybels, who founded Willow Creek in 1975, resigned prematurely in April following a Chicago Tribune investigative piece published a month earlier in which several women accused him of sexual misconduct. Don't miss this, you guys. It was not just one person. It was more than that. The allegations included suggestive comments, extended hugs, an unwanted kiss, and invitations to hotel rooms. Hybels firmly denied all wrongdoing and said they were lies. One woman who accused him of a prolonged consensual affair later retracted her claims. Willow Creek Community Church's elder board carried out an internal and external investigation into the allegations, both of which cleared Hybels of misconduct. They also held, quote, family, unquote, meetings with the congregation where Hybels denied each woman's accusation and offered his version of the events. The accusations you hear in the Tribune are just flat out lies, he said at a meeting in March. Hybels retired in April while still declaring his innocence, saying that the controversy had become a distraction to the ministry. Interesting. Isn't it interesting how a controversy that he actually initiated by acting inappropriately was a distraction to the ministry. Imagine that, people. In the meantime, newer allegations of misconduct were made. So there you go. See, that's it right there. See? Your sin will find you out. In May, Pam Orr, then chair of the elder board, admitted that they failed to hold Hybels accountable to specific boundaries and not all of the women's stories were lies. Willow Creek lead pastor Heather Larson also spoke out in a statement on Saturday, noting that she and lead teaching pastor Steve Carter are looking to acknowledge mistakes that have been made in the past few excruciating months. I need to publicly apologize to the women who raised concerns about Bill, Larson wrote. To the women directly, I can't imagine how painful the past months have been for you, and I'm so sorry for my part in that. She claimed that she did not agree with Willow Creek's initial decision to characterize the women's stories as lies and said that she should have jumped in right away and made that known. I asked for forgiveness that I did not personally declare that sooner, she continued. In full transparency of what was going on in me, there's a loud thunderstorm here. One of the hardest parts for me was that I did not agree with how the information came out in the media, and I allowed that to get into the way of focusing on the pain of these women. I am sorry. I should have listened more to why the women felt like they were forced to take that path. Larson added that she was deeply sorry over the situation, specifically that Willow Creek did not begin its investigation first by listening to the stories of the women. You would think, wouldn't you? It grieves me that people felt like they had to take sides and that this situation has created such division. I long for personal conversations, for ownership, for repentance, for healing, she wrote. You notice Bill Hybels isn't saying any of this, people? Carter, meanwhile, referenced a post last week by New Testament scholar and author Scott McKnight, who argued that Willow Creek has lost decades of trust with the way it handled the allegations against Hybels. And it should. Frankly, it should. When your pastor is sexually abusing people, I would leave the church if I was in that church. I'd be like, see ya, I don't care, bye. Because the leadership, it wasn't just Hybels, it's the leadership. And that's part of the problem, I think, in a lot of churches today, is you have yes men and yes women, apparently, in these leadership roles that are letting the shepherd, so-called shepherd of these churches, get away with stuff. Anyway, Carter said that he agrees with McKnight's conclusion. Specifically, I do not think it should have been said that the women were lying or that they were colluding against Bill and the church. I believe the women and applaud their courage, the lead teaching pastor wrote. I have personally reached out to and connected with several of the victims and listened to their experiences. I've made private apologies to several of the women and their families for the way they've been treated. I thank God for the opportunity to seek grace and forgiveness from these individuals. Carter admitted that he is not blameless, given that he took part in family meetings without first seeking transparency and repentance. I wish I had done more to prevent the hurtful statements that were made and to advocate more forcefully for what I believe would have been a more humble and biblical approach, he said. For this, I'm deeply sorry and ask your forgiveness. Now, again, here it is. You know, the thing that first of all, it takes a lot of guts, frankly, for these people to do this. Hey, Chrissy and Melanie, did I already say hi to you? I can't remember. Advar, I said hi to you, I think. Anyway, it does take some courage for these people to do this. But again, where the heck's Bill in all this? Why isn't Bill out there out front? You know, he's the guy that did the problem. You know? I don't know, Bareface, what do you think? Let Bareface.
I think I'm trying to multitask here. Yeah, it seems funny. Well, we should listen to their stories first. That's an interesting kind of, family, discussion or hearing. Imagine the court of law, they begin with what the charges are, and now let's hear from the defense. Don't hear what the case is. We don't want to hear from the plaintiff. We don't want to know what the details of the charges are. We don't want to know that story. Let's just hear the defense. I mean, the defense is out of context without knowing what the accusers are saying. It does sound like corruption in leadership to bring forth a defense. Well, this is why he's innocent, before even hearing what the stories are. What all the allegations, what the accusations are. I mean, that if I was part of that, family meeting or whatever, I'd say, okay, I'm out of here. I mean, they're not. I mean, the way it's portrayed in the story, anyway. If that's true, if they really didn't listen to the stories of the accusers of the women, then, and they're jumping right to the fence and why he's innocent without even hearing the full accusations or allegations, then I'm like, okay, I've heard enough. I'm gone.
Yeah. Well, he actually resigned early. That's what they're saying, Scott. Okay, so let's look at this next story. Mom accuses Pope of cover-up of son's sex abuse. How many of you out there are aware that there's been sexual abuse in the Catholic Church? There's also sexual abuse in the Protestant Church. Bill Hybels happens to be in that. Pope Francis, a Brazilian mother, is accusing Pope Francis of directly covering up the sex abuse of her son by a pedophile priest 16 years ago when the Pope, then known as George Bergoglio, or Jorge, I'm not sure how you say it.
Jorge.
Yeah. When that guy was the Archbishop of Buenos Aires. Beatrice Varela was employed in a diocesan school when the abuse of her son Gabriel Farini, then 14, took place August 15th, 2002. Well, that was on our anniversary. Turning to Bishop Louis Stocker, I'm not sure if I'm saying these names right, but anyway. Initially, he showed consternation, but as the time went by, he did not take any action, but Varela said. Instead, she said, he tried to minimize the case, saying that I had to be merciful with persons who chose celibacy as a vocation because they have moments of weakness. Really now? Oh my gosh. Bergoglio was aware of the situation, the sex abuse of her son, because no one can be installed in the vicar's house without the authorization of the archbishop. This is Bergoglio's compromise. He speaks against cases of pedophilia in the church, but uses hypocrisy, lies, and complicity to cover them. Varela, or however you say this person's name.
Varela.
Yeah. Why don't you just say the names?
I would say it that way.
Because you say them good.
So since they are from Buenos Aires.
Okay. This person reportedly told the bishop that she wanted truth, justice, and the guarantee that such a thing would not happen to anyone else. She says the bishop then threatened to cut her employment. I worked for a school in the diocese, she said, explaining her difficult situation. Of course it was. It was a difficult situation for her. Next, she took her case to the...
Beatriz.
Had recourse to the church tribunal, whose president refused to accept the denunciation. 15 days later, she says, she was interviewed by 4 priests who submitted me to a humiliating interrogation with lascivious. Okay, I can't say that word.
Lascivious.
Okay, and how do you say that word?
Tendentious.
Tendentious. These are my words of the day, people. Questions as if I were the one who had induced the abuse when they knew for sure that the abuser had admitted the fact 96 hours after the episode before the bishop who reprimanded him. Okay, so basically he sexually abuses a kid. He gets reprimanded for it. The Pope and these guys, well, he wasn't the Pope at the time, but he was a bishop at the time, accuses the victim, just like in the Bill Hybels thing. The victims essentially were accused, and then all that. Do you see a pattern here with this type of thing? Drives me crazy. Okay. The case has been reported in foreign media and at least one instance pulled after publication. Journalist Attila Sinke something backs up what's-her-mug's story. Charging a media cover-up is still underway, probably due to the pressure from the Vatican. No, the Vatican really covers stuff up? Marco Tassati. I should proofread these stories before I read them. In Italy, posted an article on his website, Stillum Curiae, reporting the involvement of Pope Francis in a cover-up for a pedophile priest in Buenos Aires when he was Archbishop of that city. The article refreshed some little-known old data reported by a Spanish blog, Publico. Soon after, however, Tesati's article was removed from that site. Since then, the report has been picked up by at least 2 other Catholic publications. How do you say that?
I'm guessing Guimaraes.
What he said. Adds the Pope, when he was serving as an Archbishop of Buenos Aires, hosted the pedophile priest who abused Varela's son in a comfortable residence under his jurisdiction. At the same time, he was hosting the perpetrator of the crime, this person says, of Francis.
Sorry.
Refused to receive her, the woman, and ordered his bodyguards to prevent her from entering his residence, because I'm so sure she was so buff and she was able to break in. The new allegations against Pope Francis follow the resignation of 2 more Chilean bishops caught up in the country's sexual abuse scandal, bringing to 5 the number he has accepted so far. Bishops...
Alejandro Guig Carmelik.
Yeah. Of the city of Rancagua. Whatever. Anyway, Francis accepted the resignations of 3 other bishops June 11th. In May, all of Chile's 34 bishops offered to resign en masse after a meeting with the Pope over allegations of a cover-up of sexual abuse. So 34 bishops! You know what? I think we'll just go ahead and we'll just all resign. You know what? Let's just forget it. You know, why don't we just shut down the whole Catholic Church and the Vatican? Oh my gosh, you people. All right. I just thought we'd share that with you. And then in other sexual abuse news, Harvey Weinstein, or Stein, I'm not sure how it goes. This guy is a scumbag as well. The breaking news today is that he has now been indicted on additional charges, including predatory sexual assault. This indictment is the result of the extraordinary courage exhibited by the survivors who have come forward. So, and that's breaking news all over the media. It's on Twitter, because you're no one if you're not on Twitter.
You're not there already, then you've missed it.
That's right. That song's so old.
Yes.
Actually, you're no one if you're not on Periscope. But the thing is, now Harvey faces life in prison. So, just so you know. All right. And they are wondering why people are leaving the church, Jason says. All right. So, that is that. And David Archbishop Gen X has come in the room. I guess we're out of sync. Well, that's all right. What else is new? Okay. And
I hate it when that happens.
I don't know if Deborah's still watching, but if Deborah is watching and anybody else is watching on Facebook, hello, people. Okay. All right. So now I want to get to did you guys hear about the oldest World War vet? No. The oldest living man in America is 112 years old. And he actually had his identity stolen recently. And I'm trying to find my story so I can bring it up and read it accurately to you. Yeah, he had his identity stolen recently. Somebody stole all of his money out of his bank. It's good on your end? Okay, that's good. So according to Channel 7, and there's other news reports, actually this was actually one of the trending identity theft stories this past week. Says here, thieves emptied the bank account of America's oldest living veteran. First of all, this guy is one of the few World War II veterans still living, which is amazing because, there's not a lot living, just so you know.
Did you want to show the video or just
Sure,
do the story?
Do you have it ready if you want to?
I can have it ready in a matter of seconds.
Okay. Then we'll show you the video, people. That way you'll see how handsome this 112-year-old veteran is. You know, I really have a soft spot for veterans for obvious reasons, because my dad is one, and because I think veterans are awesome people. And it really is kind of scummy when you think about people ripping off veterans, you know? I mean, it's bad enough that they serve our country and they have to fight with Veterans Affairs to get their benefits. You just let me know when you're ready.
Anytime.
Okay, go ahead. We're going to play this now so you can watch it.
All right. Here we go.
Washington, California. They come everywhere.
He's one of the best known
You just want to see me.
and cherished people in Austin.
Yep.
We're talking about Richard Overton, the World War II veteran and oldest living man in the country. But sadly, Overton's family says someone stole his money.
It's a shock. It hurts. It hurts tremendously.
It was this week, Vola Overton says he discovered someone used Richard's personal account to buy several savings bonds.
I don't know how they got his social security number and how they got his personal checking account number, but those things they have.
Vola wouldn't say how much money was taken, but called it a significant amount.
My mind goes up and down the gamut of, from A to Z who it might be, but it could be somebody in a foreign country.
When asked his thoughts on the potential of it being someone close to the 112-year-old veteran, he said,
It'd be terrible to know somebody who's been that close to him have used him like that.
he hopes this will serve as a warning to others. Candy Rodriguez, KXAN News.
Yeah, so there you go. So, first of all, identity theft is on the rise, and there's so many variants of identity theft. This frankly made the news. First of all, there's a gazillion news articles on identity theft. I could do a whole show just on that alone every day, seriously, because there's that much out there. But this is a World War II vet. This is a 112-year-old guy. I mean, he's doing pretty good for 112, I think.
Definitely.
Better than some people I know in real life. But anyway, I love our veterans. I play pickleball all the time with numerous vets. Most of them are Vietnam vets because they're still in their 70s. They're still kicking, but 112, man. All right, so they don't know how it happened, which is why Legal Shield and identity theft is, something that we're selling and promoting now here on the show. Many of you guys know that I'm doing that, and I want to let you know that if you want to get more information from me, I would love to give it to you, set up a time to talk to you. Had a couple of you sign up. You guys were smart to do it. I signed my dad up. Just so you know, he'll be 90 in 15 days. 15 days from now, he'll be 90. And I set my dad up because you know what? He's got Medicare. He's got medical stuff. He lives in assisted living. And who knows? It just takes one person to steal info, which is not that hard to get these days, unfortunately. And I want to be notified about it. So if you just contact me online. Most of you guys know how you can get in touch with me, okay? All right. So the other thing I want to let you guys know about tomorrow, I have a super special guest tomorrow. Do you have the video, Randall, that I sent you in Messenger?
You sent me a video in Messenger?
Just a few minutes ago, yeah. It's a YouTube video. So tomorrow, you guys know that I play pickleball. Yeah, I do. In fact, I'm wearing one of my favorite pickleball shirts today from the United States of America Pickleball Association. This is actually what this shirt is. You can't see it because the thing is down there. But tomorrow, my guest is Stephanie Lane and her daughter, Leellen Lane. And I am super excited because I'm writing this book called Pickleball Faith, and all about my experiences and how God's been moving on the pickleball court. Well, Stephanie has won the U.S. Open in pickleball. She won this year, gold. Over the weekend, she won some more. She's won a gazillion things. She's like one of the top pickleball players in America, and she's Christian. And her daughter is, I think, 16, and they literally go all over the country to play pickleball, and then they share the gospel with people when they do it. There's a whole bunch of Christian pickleball players out there. Anyway, last year on my birthday, I met her. I didn't know who she was at the time. All I knew was everybody was flocking to her, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you're here!" And I was like, "I don't know who you are, but hi, how you doing?" And found out later that she actually teaches PE here locally, or at least she did. I don't know if I'm not sure if she still does, but anyway, here in the Nashville area. And she's one of the sweetest people I've met. Great teacher. I learned a lot from her on the court. And tomorrow she's going to be here. She'll be on Zoom with her daughter. And we're going to have her share her testimony, and we're going to talk about pickleball. So I wanted to give you a sneak peek so you get an idea of who she is. Just tell me when you're ready. Got the video yet?
Give me just like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
All right.
And just let you know, this is like in the world of pickleball. This is like pickleball royalty. Okay, so this is Stephanie this is like a 2-minute interview somebody else did with her a long time ago, but tomorrow we got her for the whole hour. So.
Nashville, Tennessee, and I've been playing pickleball about 3 years.
All right, Stephanie, how'd you get started playing pickleball?
Well, oddly enough, my college tennis coach taught us this sport, learning how to teach children physical education. And so I've learned it about 25 years ago. Didn't know adults played it, but we would be out there on rainy days because we didn't have indoor tennis courts to practice on. So we'd be in the gym, either hitting badminton or pickleball or racquetball or something. And that's how I got started.
Sounds good. What's the farthest you've ever traveled for a pickleball tournament?
California.
Okay. And is there someone in pickleball that you really look up to?
That would have to be Dr. Tom Early. He was the first person that ever taught me how to dink the ball down in Canton, Georgia. And he and Ann just opened their home up for us to come play on their courts all the time. And it's quite a bit of a drive for me, like everywhere is, to get there. But it's really worth it, and I really appreciate him taking time to teach me an aspect of the game that didn't carry over from tennis.
Sounds good. And Stephanie, one last question. What's your favorite place to vacation?
That would have had to have been the Dry Tortugas when we took a ferry over and took all of our stuff in, water and all, and camped out for 3 nights. And even Santa Claus found my little daughter there. So it was a lot of fun to snorkel with, barracuda that were longer than me. So it was a lot of fun to vacation at the Dry Tortugas.
All right, well, sounds good. Well, Stephanie, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today. And as always, pickleball rocks.
That's right, it does. Yeah, it does. I'm kind of an unofficial, ambassador for pickleball. I don't think most of you even knew what the heck pickleball was until I started talking about it like 2 years ago. In fact, I've been playing for 2 years now. I myself have actually won a tournament. Yeah, I did. I won gold in the 2.5 women's category. It was good. It was, hey, just saying. I'm even better now than I used to be. But anyway, tomorrow, Stephanie is going to be here with her daughter. So you guys make sure you come because it's going to be fun. And, she really, really, really loves the Lord, and so does her kid. And it's so cool, to I don't know. It's just going to be fun tomorrow. Even if nobody shows up, I'm going to be here. I'm going to have fun. I should also tell you that tomorrow we'll have this up on the website, but we also, Ariel Ministries sponsors our show, and I want to let you know that you can still save 20% on anything that you buy at ariel.org, okay? And we have a brand new Bible study. We're going to put this up tomorrow.
It's up now.
Oh, you did?
I just finished it.
Woo! Randall is awesome. So the Ministries of the Holy Spirit is the brand new Bible study. It is 43 pages long, you guys. So go over to our website, BibleNewsRadio.com, hit the resources page right there. And is that where it is? No?
Yeah, but the title didn't update. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Okay, well, you'll still be able to get it, though.
Yeah, you will.
So there's the Ministries of the Holy Spirit, 43 pages long. Great Bible study. Free for you guys. All you got to do is download it. Just download it and then read it. That's all you gotta do, people. Just read it. It's free. Dr. Arnold Fruchtenbaum, his ministry offers this to you for free. Usually this is a paid Bible study that people pay for. Thus the word paid. And don't forget, you can get any of the other resources also there on our website. Okay. And I think I thanked our pillars of the community before, and I want to ask you again, if you want to donate to our show, just because you like our show, please become a pillar of the community. I will be emailing those of you who donate. We will be emailing you your benefit as opposed to having the Facebook group like I had before. Okay, just make sure that you want to be a pillar in your donation. That way I know, and I can add you to the email for that. Okay? All right. And, again, I just want to say thank you because I know that times are tough for a lot of people. And and so the fact that you donate to our show really means a lot to me. Okay, the other thing is there is this article about Donald Trump. Did you, did I sent you that one, right?
Yes, you did.
I did, okay. How many of you know that Donald Trump is under attack by our media? Constantly. Poor Mr. Donald Trump. Christians attack him, heathens attack him, all that. But now, according to CBN News, President Trump's prized possession has now ended up at the Museum of the Bible, which, by the way, one of these days I would really like to go there. I think it would be fun to go to the Museum of the Bible. It says here, from George Washington to Donald Trump, every U.S. president has taken the oath of office with his hand on a Bible.
Not true.
That's not true, actually. Whoever wrote this article needs to rewrite it because... Oh, Jenna did. Actually, Keith Ellison didn't. Keith Ellison is a...
wasn't a president, though, U.S. president.
Oh, you're right. Okay, never mind.
But Lyndon B. Johnson did not. There was not a Bible aboard the presidential plane. It was on a Catholic missile. And Theodore Roosevelt did not.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. So you guys like my picture in there? I can go like this. Anyway, the delay is funny. President Trump took his oath on not one, but two Bibles, Abraham Lincoln's and his own childhood Bible, which is now on display at the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. So the Bible we have here is the Bible that was presented to him by his mother when he was almost 9 years old, when he graduated from Sunday school from a Presbyterian church in Queens, New York. The Museum of the Bible's Norm Conrad told CBN News. The story of how it got here is one that Vice President Mike Pence recently shared with a group of pastors at an event hosted by the Family Research Council. It was a surprise visit. So I was with Steve Green. I was with the whole Hobby Lobby team, Pence recalled. It was the time when we went over there for a conference. He said, he's such a shy, humble person. He said, we've got a formal request in, for a Bible from the president. We'd like to display one of his Bibles. And I said, oh, here at the Bible Museum? He said, yeah. And I said, I got that. Let me take that one. Pence told Green to forget the paperwork and took the request right to the president. So anyway, I get back that night and Trump, called me up, and we usually check in at the end of the day. And I said, hey, by the way, I was over at the Bible Museum and they want to display one of your Bibles, Pence said. And Trump, said, they want to display one of my Bibles? And I said, yeah, put it in a case so people can go and see it. And he goes, well, that's great. And he goes, hang on a second. He goes, it's around here somewhere. Hang on a second. And he puts the phone down and I hear him rummaging around. And he came back on the phone and he said, got it. I got it. He said, I'll bring it in tomorrow. I have no idea if that's really the inflection in his voice when he said it. But hey, people, I'm just doing my best here. Sure enough, Pence said the president brought the Bible with him to the Oval Office. And I sat down in my usual chair and the president started in with all the briefers, and then he looked at me and he pushed the Bible over in my direction, Pence said. So I just picked it up, I opened it. You know how he is. I picked it up and I opened it up, and it was inscribed from his mother. Inside is a note from the day Trump was confirmed in his faith. And afterward he said, is that one okay? Is it good? And I said, oh, this will be good. And he said, well, that's the one. Pence recounted. He took his oath on Abraham Lincoln's Bible, and he said, and on that one. Conrad was delighted with the turn of events. It's pretty exciting for us here, he said. Curators anticipate it will also be exciting for the thousands who can now see President Trump's Bible when they visit the museum. Just so you know, I don't really care if I see President Trump's Bible. I would prefer to see some dead person's Bible, like George Washington's Bible or something. But I know there are people out there who are Bible worshipers and all that. But that is actually a fun story, I thought. Just so you know. Yep. How many of you guys think that was an awesome story? Okay, wait. Let me see if there's any question here. I'm going to scroll back through the comments and see if there's any comments that I can see that are worth reading. Let's see here. And I mean, like on air, not like in my head. Okay, so that's that. The devil loves weak people who are easily tempted. I don't know if Vinny is still here, but that would be everybody, by the way. I hope they throw the key away on Harvey, says David. It's good on my end. Okay, so it's good on my end. Oh, that was the sex bot. Okay. If he had great credit, that would be the bomb, LOL. I'm not sure what that... Oh, the World War II thing? Okay. It's rampant here, too. Are you talking about identity theft? Yeah, identity theft is everywhere. Obama, no. Yes, on the picture, your thoughts on Spotlight movie. I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on it because I don't know what it is. I'm glad he has a Bible. What was fun about it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was fun about what. I don't know. Is there anything fun about anything? Okay, wait. All right. All right. I guess that's it. There's no questions. I did what I could. Oh, by the way, just so you know, I had a friend of mine. Just so you guys know, I get feedback from everywhere, right? So I had a new friend of mine tune into the show from Friday, and you guys know that I got on this guy that was a troll on our Facebook page. Just so you know,
or was he?
He was.
In your opinion?
Confirmed. He's a confirmed troll. But anyway, so my friend, she told me at Pickleball.
I beg to differ.
Well, all right. Okay, let's let everybody weigh in on this. Okay. Is a troll... Okay, wait. Let me say... How do I say this? Yeah, I like the president, too, by the way. Okay, somebody who has a Facebook account with just a picture, but you search their name on Google in images, and you look on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and everything, and there's zero pictures of them anywhere else. Okay? Just saying. So, it's... a fake picture with a fake name. The guy is a troll. Okay? But anyway, that aside, that's my opinion. Bareface might disagree because he's kind of argumentative lately. But, that's okay. I still love him anyway because he got me ice cream last night. But
that's a reason to hate me, perhaps.
But my friend told me that I should not use... I'm not going to say the word because she's going to watch it. And if I say it, then she's going to say, you should not use that word on air. But it started with a C and it ended with a Y, just so you know. No, did it? I think it did. No. It started with a C and ended with a P. Okay. There you go. It's an alternate word for poo because that's what she said I should use, just so you know. So from now on, I'm going to use the word poo instead of the C word, which, isn't really me, but, out of respect for my viewers who care about me, just so you know, I guess it's the more southern thing to actually say the word poo instead of what. And I certainly wouldn't say the S word because that's like, ugh, I don't like that word. Okay. All right. So David said Spotlight is an award-winning movie based on true story exposing child molestation in the Catholic Church. Okay. I haven't seen it. So I can't weigh in on it, but I assume that if it's actually exposing the evil, it can't be that bad. I don't know, David, did you see it? Because you clearly know about it. So you can tell us what you think. And if David thinks it was good, then it probably was good. Okay? All right. Wow. Okay. All right, DA Music Maker. All right, you guys have any questions? This is unusual that I actually got through my news items before my show ended. Usually I'm so long-winded and I always end up with one story left. All right, so David said that's a very good movie. Okay, good. Can you see it on online anywhere? Because I wonder if that's it. Okay, I want to make sure I got through all the stories I gave you. I think I did. Yeah, I guess I did. What do you know? I got through quite a bit of stories today. I'm doing good. Fecal matter. Yeah, that's another way of putting it, right, Jason? Yeah, it is. All right, we got how many more minutes we got? 5 minutes?
Roughly, yeah.
Got 5 minutes, people. I would imagine it's online somewhere since it was critically acclaimed. Okay, I'll have to look it up. We'll let you know. By the way, if you have not signed up for our email, go over to BibleNewsRadio.com, sign up for my email list. I'm only sending it out a couple times a week. And I could also tell you, let's see here. Next week. Oh, by the way, I should also tell you, Wednesday, July 4th, we're not doing a show, just in case you wanted to know, okay? We're actually going to take the day off, okay? But tomorrow we got Stephanie talking about pickleball. Next Tuesday, you will not want to miss this show, because next Tuesday, my guest is Julie Roys, who used to work for Moody Radio, Moody Bible Institute. And Julie actually was a whistleblower. She exposed some of the unethical stuff happening over at Moody Radio, Moody Bible Institute. And she actually lost her job as a whistleblower. Yeah, she did. But you know what? She's going to come on our show tomorrow, next Tuesday. OMG. I don't know if that's a good OMG or a bad OMG from you. You love her? Okay. Yeah, well, she is my guest next Tuesday. So, David, you'll have to let Janet Parcel know that... Is that why they canceled her show? Yeah, it is. She got fired for being a whistleblower. And, you know, I mean, this actually just talks about, you know, it really is sad, right? It really is sad that there's so much corruption in the church. My brother's a Catholic priest and is being persecuted for reporting child sexual abuse. You know what? I was so upset they canceled her shows. Yeah, love to all. Okay, so, yeah, you know, I mean, it's really, really sad that you have victims of sexual abuse, right? I am one, right? I was one. You know, and victims of sexual abuse, the victims, it takes courage to go forward when you've been abused by anything. I don't care if you're an adult or a kid. It takes courage, right? And then the victims always get re-victimized because people either A, don't want to get their hands dirty, they don't want to get involved. In fact, I was talking to one of my friends today at pickleball, actually. True story. I was telling him about Legal Shield and why it's important that everybody get Legal Shield. And he was actually telling me, he actually told me this. He said, yeah, I need some insurance about a gun thing. And this is what he told me. He said, because my pastor at my church wants to make sure that we're covered and that us deacons or elders, whatever it was he is, that we carry guns at church, right? I'm in Tennessee. This is a gun-carrying state. So, and he said, because, you know, we need to have insurance, but in case we get sued. And he said, somebody told him, I forgot who it was, but he said, somebody told him that, you know, that it's always better just not to get involved. Don't get involved anywhere. And I said to him, as we were, you know, taking a break from between games, I said to him, I said, yeah, isn't that sad that people don't want to get involved because it might mess their life up? But meanwhile, children are being abused, wives are being abused, husbands are being abused. Everybody's being abused because nobody wants to get their hands dirty. Right? Okay, just saying. So yeah, I just, it irritates me. It's just, it's not right. And I will say this too. There are people here on Periscope who are doing things as Christians, and they should not be doing them. And I'm going to talk about it later at a future date. But there are some people that I promoted on this show who I will never, ever, 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 ever promote again because they're unethical in business and they're thieves. And you need to know it, and we will talk about that soon, just so you know. Because you know what? I'm not going to let other people get taken advantage of by unethical people on Periscope who are Christians who are not doing the right thing. And you know who you are. And some of you already know who this is. And if you don't, you will find out soon. Because it's not cool. It's not cool. God's people need to be doing the right thing and not ripping people off. And things are going to change. And you know what? I, for one, am not going to be intimidated or bullied or shut up when it comes to actually exposing evil, especially here on Periscope, because people need to know that some people claiming to be Christians cannot be trusted. but and it's not going to be on my hands. I'm going to expose it. So just know that's coming up later. Anyway, so with that said, it's the end of the show. Lucky for me. So we'll see you tomorrow with my friend Stephanie Lane, U.S. Open Pickleball Champion Gold, I believe in the 5.0 category, tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow with her and her daughter. And you guys, please come and support her tomorrow because you're going to love it. It's going to be fun. And, as Janet Parshall says, God puts his people everywhere. And this is one lady who is on fire for the Lord in the world of pickleball. So, and I get to interview her. It's so fun. Anyway, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, be bold, stand up, and go with God, people, because he loves you.